And good evening to all once again. Welcome to the Shadow Gallery. I am your host, as always, James Donnelly. And check that watch, check that clock, check the time on your cable box, because it's time for new comics, bitches! So, we had a really good week this week. It was a really good week. Hard for me to pick the top spot. I love weeks like this, when it really is hard to pick what is the best comic of the week. So, let's kick it off. Okay, so, Justice League, number 3. I don't have any, I have only one of my DC comics actually here. A friend is borrowing the rest. He better return them in pristine order. Justice League number 3. But I wrote some notes. This is getting dropped, because, it is literally, aside from Jim Lee's art, which is great, it is, Jeff Johns is writing it basically in such a paint-by-numbers style, it is ridiculous. It's like they had a template for how they wanted to introduce each new character, and they already had, like, the bubbles, you know, just kind of there, and he just filled in the blanks with just something that he thought was kind of clever or kind of cute or whatever. So this issue features the entry of Wonder Woman. And basically, the vibe that I'm getting from her character is, hi, I'm Wonder Woman, I like ice cream, and I like punching things. That's all my character is. I like to beat on things until they die. And I like eating ice cream. And I also like rock and roll. Aren't I innocent and sweet, but also deadly and brutal, and totally one-fucking-dimensional? Which is not who Wonder Woman is. Take note, Jeff. Read Brian Azzarello's take. Or go back and read some of, Alan, I can't remember his last name. Heinsberg. I know that's wrong. I think that's wrong anyway. Or, read Greg Rucka's stuff on Wonder Woman. Like the, Haikitia, or whatever that was called. I don't remember. But that was a great, characterization of Wonder Woman. And so is Brian Azzarello's work right now. Is a really solid work of Wonder Woman. But this is, it's totally like he's just, watch fucking Justice League. Watch the cartoons. I mean, that's a fully fleshed out three-dimensional character. He's given us something that is totally one-dimensional. All the characters are one-dimensional. And again, it's, kind of meet cute, fight cute, and that's it. I did admire the fact that while they're, while the whole kind of Vic Stone peril is going on, that, they have little Easter eggs like Professor Ivo and Dr. T.O. Morrow are also there. So I thought that was kind of cute. But everything, I mean, it's so it's so horrifically underwritten that I can't take it anymore. I mean, it's like, I keep thinking, okay, well, it's going to get better, because Jeff Johns, he can be a really, really good writer. I mean, if you look at what he's doing with Aquaman right now, it's really good. That's a great comic. And this is, it started out kind of like, okay, well, I'll see if it gets better. And then the second issue was like, okay, I'm kind of getting frustrated. Now it's just like, I can't even fucking stand it anymore. It's just, it's too much. It's too, there's no thought. There's no thought that's gone into it at all. And that's what's most insulting about it. This is their flag fucking ship title. Okay? And he just doesn't care. And that is what's most insulting about it. And so I can't imagine paying $3.99 for this garbage anymore. Speaking of which, I'm not going to get too much into it because my friend Comic Noob, one of his most recent entries, in fact, I think his most recent entry, deals with a lot of the basically really hating on, well, not hate, but just being really, really incensed with Marvel in specific. For the, basically the ratio of actual comic book to price. So he's in my list of subscribers. Comic Noob, I know him as Ian, because we're brothers from another mother, I guess. Sort of, not really, but I like to think that we are. And also, he's Scottish, so. And I'm Irish, so at least half. Anyway, but he did a really great vlog about that while he was reviewing his comics. So check it out. That was really good stuff. Anyway, so that kind of gets out of the way one of the kind of bad ones from this week. There were some other not so good ones, but again, they were still like light years, better than this one. Okay, so moving along, we have Captain America #4. This was a, as I had kind of said back when I was reviewing the second issue of this. I was getting worried that it was kind of going into this weird kind of Grant Morrison, like fucked up reality territory where it was just like, okay, now it's like, why are we taking this character and putting him in these really weird situations when this is a very down-to-earth character? But he, in the third issue, he kind of recovered from that and made it cool, and now he's made it even cooler. He's made it even better. So it's still kind of... It still kind of has that feeling of being, kind of very disjointed from reality, but it works because Brubaker's a fucking genius. So, McNiven also, his art is phenomenal. I love his stuff. And this is another issue where the supporting cast really kicks ass, both, figuratively and literally. Because his supporting cast, Brubaker, one of his strengths is in his supporting characters, particularly with Captain America, because you've got Nick Fury and you've got Sharon Carter, and you've got all these other great characters, like the Falcon, and it's just really, really, really impressive work. But it's just, and I'm digging on the this new Madam, or not, it's not Madam Hydra, it's the Queen, whatever. But anyway, the villains, Codename Bravo and this woman, they're very good villains. And you can understand what Codename Bravo has gone through in his life. So, in those decades where he was trapped inside of Jimmy Jupiter's mind, in that mindscape of his. So you can kind of see, and and the fact that he actually uses that to his advantage when he's fighting Cap is just really impressive. So there are parts of this issue that reminded me, not certainly not ripping off, but it kind of reminded me of like the classic For the Man Who Has Everything, Alan Moore Superman story. With Wonder Woman and Batman and Robin, that was because that was really good stuff, and it was, you know, because you kind of get that feeling, you know, it's like he's kind of, you know, the Captain America, you know, when Steve kind of wakes up in this world, in this alternate reality, everything's good, you know, America's safe, he feels that everything is just going really well. And then later on, he starts to realize, wait a second, something is wrong here. Doesn't take him as long as, you know, Alan Moore did it in that story. But anyway, I'm just saying, this is a really, really, really solid issue. 4 out of 5, easy. Maybe even a little bit higher. But yeah, this, you know, because it's Cap and it's Brubaker, so I mean, it can't be that bad. By the way, if we're going by the rating system, Justice League is a 1.5 out of 5. Okay, 2, but that's only for the art. Okay, let's move along. Okay, Nightwing, number 3. This I also felt was a little forced. I liked it. It's about a 2.5 to 3 out of 5. But it's here was, you know, the mystery of who hired Psycho is solved, but, you know, why all this, you know, is Dick's fault has, of course, yet to be determined. That's, of course, the big mystery here, and why the person who wants him dead wants him dead. Now, the action sequence that takes place here, where Dick fights his old friend, is handled really well. But the thing that I didn't like about it is that it's one of Dick's old friends. It's like, why? You know, I mean, I appreciate that Kyle Higgins is going for this kind of, you know, he wants to make it very personal for him. But it's, I didn't buy that. It smacked of being kind of lazy. It's like, okay, well, you know, my old friend, you know, he got mixed up with a bad crowd, and all of a sudden he's got all of these abilities, and and can, you know, induce like this almost, hallucinatory, almost like Scarecrow-esque kind of, you know, fear of failure kind of state, and so on and so forth. But the way the action scene was handled was really impressive. So I did like that. And I think that's Joe Bennett doing the art on. Is it Joe Bennett, or I can't remember. That's the one thing I forgot to write down. But also the relationship with Raya is coming off as also a little forced. It's like, really, I mean, it's like, I get, you know, the whole kind of, you know, young crush thing, young love, puppy love type of thing, and now it's like, it's gone beyond that. It's like, you know, we're into like steamy, sexy time, and it's like, whoa. You know, Dick, well, to be fair, Dick is kind of a himbo, so, you know, there's that. But, you know, and it is also nice that, you know, that Dick has definitely kept some of, you know, the trick, you know, a lot of the tricks that Bruce has taught him over the years. Apparently it's only been 5 years, though. Again, that still pisses me off. By really, you know, not just using, you know, his agility, you know, his kind of natural agility and his strength and his combat, you know, training, but also using his mind, you know, to defeat his opponents. So again, it's, you know, it's good. It's good work. It's just, it could have been, it could have gone a lot differently, and I think it would have been better if this character, you know, had been, you know, that the kind of villain of this particular issue had not been somebody from Dick's past. And also, again, the thing with Raya, you know, is weird. Although the next issue is going to have Batgirl, and that should make things really interesting. You know, also kind of linking together what just happened in the last issue of Batgirl. You know, this whole confrontation between her and Dick, and that, you know, they used to be lovers and could very well be again, but who knows. So, Anyway, so that, like I said, it's about, at best it's 3 out of 5, and that's only because it seemed like they were kind of slacking off this issue. So anyway, stay tuned. We've got a lot more ground to cover, so stick around.